the children who are far away and yet are constantly close to the Father's heart receive a right to having cooperation and will continue to receive help until the end. Okay? Now, there are two things which we will understand in the first sentence. First is constantly close to the Father's heart. So have you seen that there are times when you feel you're very close to Baba's heart, and there are times when you feel like I cannot connect with Baba, I do not feel Baba around me, that connection is lost. So, and if you observe properly, the times when you are following Shrimad, yes, you're following Shrimad, then you feel that you're close to Baba's heart. You feel close. It's not about, it's something you feel on the inside. It's very intuitive. It's not something you create as a thought, or if I ask you right now, do you feel Baba is with you? And I'm very close to Baba's heart. If you check your heart, you will receive an answer. And that answer is related to whether you are honestly following Shrimad. Am I right? This is how it works. And the beautiful thing is, you cannot force this, like you cannot create this artificially. You cannot there is no method to come to this state where you feel close to Baba's heart. The only method is being pure and honest in following Baba's Shrimad. And Baba says, when you are close to Baba's heart and you feel that in your heart, then just know one thing: you have a right. And what is that right? The right to cooperation. Baba is giving you cooperation. Baba will continue to give you cooperation until the end. And you know, this thing about rights is very interesting, because rights, you need to know your rights in order to claim them. Yes, sometimes, have you seen that in the world people educate other people about their rights? Yes, so there is awareness which has to be created about rights, because sometimes you may be right but you may not know your right. Being right and knowing your right are two different things. So when you're close to Baba's heart, that's a matter of being right. That's not a matter of knowing your right. So when you are right, when you are in accordance with Baba's Shrimad, then you are right. And that is when you experience that you're close to Baba's heart. But then Baba says, sometimes you may be right, but you may not know you're right. Maybe, you feel you're very close to Baba, You feel the love also, you feel everything, you are at peace, everything. But maybe, you feel that I don't know whether Baba will cooperate or not, or I don't know whether, how these things will turn or what's going to happen. But Baba says, now that you are right, know that your right is to receive cooperation. And I will cooperate with you until the end. And have you seen that in the world, if you're sure you have cooperation from somebody powerful, then usually what happens is, in the world, because it is Kali Yuga, so if you know that you have cooperation from somebody who is Kali Yugi powerful, then you receive a lot of power to continue doing Kali Yugi acts, come what may. Yes, so if somebody is doing Kali Yugi acts inspired by, anger or greed or lust or attachment or ego, then they know somebody who is Kali Yugi powerful, then they keep continuing to do those Kali Yugi acts without fear, because they think that, that one will save you. But Baba says, when you know that you are right, and in that knowing that you are right, and you feel that closeness with Baba, then in that closeness, Baba says, know that I will cooperate with you, come what may, until the end. And when Baba cooperates with you until the end, never be afraid of doing what Baba asks you to do. Baba says, just like a Kali Yugi powerful person gives his full support to Kali Yugi activities, Baba says, I am here, I am cooperating with you fully so that you can carry out your Sangam Yugi task. Okay, and why do you need so much of power to perform Sangam Yugi tasks? In the Murli, Baba says there will be lot of disturbances from Maya. Yes, Maya comes in many forms, in the form of your own thoughts, own self-doubts, own sanskars, in the form of situations, in the form of obstacles from your lokik, alokik, many kinds of things happen. So Baba says, in all of those situations, you have to be aware that Baba is here, Baba is helping you. And if you know you're right, because you see, sometimes we think, okay, there is a right, what's the need to know it? But no, awareness of a right is very important. If you're not aware that you have this right, then you will not be able to claim it at the right time. So Baba says, I am making you aware that you have a right to my cooperation and you have a right to my help, and I will help you until the end. And Baba says, so be aware of this right and never become weak or be disheartened. Because you see, what does Maya do? Maya will put you into self-doubt. Maya will make you lose hope and faith, make you lose heart. So Baba says, don't be weak, don't be disheartened. I am here with you. Do not be an ordinary effort maker in your efforts. Now the thing is, when you are an ordinary effort maker, what happens? Maya is also very silent. Yes, in fact, Maya feeds your ego that you are great when you are actually ordinary. But when you want to be a good effort maker, then you face Maya. Yes, so when you are so I've seen in the world, when you are weak and miserable, then you receive everybody's compassion, or everybody will show their support and their mercy. But as soon as you try to do great things, then you understand then that you are facing a lot of hindrances. Yes, so those same people who were who were telling you that you are very good, or we have a lot of good wishes for you, they will turn against you, because now you're becoming greater than them. So everybody wants you to grow, but not grow more than them. That's the rule of the world. So Baba says that don't stop at being ordinary. This is Baba's direction. Baba says, do not be an ordinary effort maker in your efforts. Be a good effort maker. Whether it be Gyan, don't restrict yourself to just formal reading. Do manthan. Just do everything to imbibe Gyan. Go to the subtle aspects. Churn Gyan properly. Yoga. Don't restrict yourself to 1 hour, 2 hours of yoga. Be a yogi, Karam yogi, and an ever yogi. So all the time you have to be in yoga. Purity. Don't tell yourself, I'm a grihasthi, so I can only be this much pure. Sometimes you have these internal limitations. No, I'm in the grihasth, I can only be this pure. No, you have the right to complete purity. You have the right to be a master in the pure world. So Baba says, just don't stop yourself at being ordinary. Be divine. And Baba says, seva also. Don't stop at being an ordinary sevadhari. Be a good sevadhari. So Baba says, the Father is combined with you. And so always be an intense effort maker with zeal and enthusiasm, and continue to move forward. You need a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, yes, to be a good effort maker. But you know what Maya does? Maya will make you lose heart. Things will happen, and then your zeal and enthusiasm will be lost. But Baba says, don't lose your zeal and enthusiasm. Remember, I am with you. Continue with your zeal and enthusiasm, and then you will win over Maya. Baba says, hand over your weakness and disheartenment to the Father, and only keep zeal and enthusiasm with yourself. Baba says, don't, if there is ever, because so many things happen, even if you get a weak thought, even if you feel disheartened, just give it to Baba. And Baba says, just take zeal and enthusiasm from me. Have faith that I'm giving you that. Take that and continue your journey. So this is what Baba is giving as a blessing, and this is a very big blessing that Baba is giving us today. And in today's Murli, Baba says, look in the mirror of your heart. And yesterday also Baba says, keep a proper account of your karma. Yes. Now I want to talk about what do you have to check, because yesterday also there were many questions about how to write the chart, or what does the chart include, or what do we really have to check. Okay. And in today's Murli, Baba says, check if there are any sins that you have committed. Yes, if there are any sins that you are committing. So now today we will talk about sins. And what is a sin? So you see, today Baba talks about corruption also in the Murli, and Baba says that in the world people don't know what is corruption. People think, corruption is only limited to abuse of, some legal power, some financial power, something. But Baba says, sin is much broader than corruption. And the world doesn't know sin, the world knows corruption, but you know sin. You know Pap and Punya. Today Baba is saying, when I come, I tell you the difference between Pap and Punya. What is Pap, what is Punya? Now let's take what is Pap first. So according to Baba's knowledge, there are three kinds of Pap. There are three kinds of sin. Okay. First category of sin is doing what you shouldn't do. Okay, when you're doing what you shouldn't do, that is in Christianity it is called the sin of commission. You're committing it. Okay, so the first kind of sin is doing what you shouldn't do. Now what has Baba asked us to not do? So Baba has asked us to not perform acts of lust, acts of anger, acts of attachment, acts of greed, and acts of ego. Yes, and sometimes it's very difficult to discern what is an act motivated by. Yes, because let's say an act of lust, it may look like an act of help, but it could be an act of lust. Why do I say this? Because maybe you offered help to somebody, but because you found them physically attractive. Now only you know why you offered them help. Nobody else knows it. So your act of help might be motivated by lust. That's why when it comes to actions, intentions define the actions. Okay, so it may look like an act of help, but it could be an act of lust. It may look like an act of, just like, sometimes people say that I'm getting very angry on you because I care for you, or I don't want that you should, you should go do something wrong or this or that. But maybe your motivation is your own anger. Yes, because you are an angry person and that's how you express everything. You say it's love, but you're expressing it with anger because that's your sanskar. So it's not an act of love, it's an act of anger. But you do as you are. So whatever is your sanskar, you act according to that. And sometimes you don't even realize that. Yes, maybe you are judging somebody, demeaning somebody all the time, and you say that I'm doing it for XYZ reason, but it's your ego. You have ego about your position of power and you are abusing your position of power. So Baba says that, you have to think about whether you are driven by lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed when you are doing actions. And only you know what you're doing. Nobody else knows. And that's whether you are right or you're not, you have to look into your heart and check. Yes, because on the external it may look like anything, but you know what you're doing. So Baba says, be very careful about maintaining an account of what karma is motivated by what intention. And Baba says, if you are motivated by lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, jealousy, fear, comparison, criticism, laziness, whatever. So all those negative emotions which are driving your actions, they are going into the account of sin. So when you check your chart every day, ask yourself, what was my intention of doing what I did? And take an answer from yourself that, and see what is driving every action of yours. Yes. And sometimes, it may look like you're doing the right thing, but you could be doing the wrong thing. And the second category of sin is not doing what you're supposed to do. Not doing what you're supposed to do. That's a sin which the world doesn't recognize. But Baba underlines this one even more than the first one. Or in fact, not more or less, but they're equally important. So, not doing what you should do is another category of sin. And why not doing what you should do is a sin? Because when Baba has given us this fortune of Sangam Yug, then my life should be dedicated to Baba's purpose. My time, my thought, my body, my mind, my wealth, everything belongs to what Baba is asking me to do in Sangam Yug. And Baba says that it's very important to check whether you're doing what Baba is asking you to do. And in that, Baba says 4 things: Gyan, Yog, Dharana, which is first dharana is purity, and seva. Yes, so first thing Baba says is Gyan. Baba has directed me, Baba has instructed me to, read the Murli, churn on the Murli, do, yes, so, or give Baba's introduction based on the Murli. So do I pay enough attention to Gyan? So am I using my man and buddhi in a way so that it is filled with Gyan always? Or am I living my life knowledgefully? Then Yog, Baba says, are you always, aware that, are you checking whether your mind is connected to me or not, whether your buddhi is connected to me or not? And dharana, purity. Are you making any compromise on purity? Whether it is the purity of, mind, speech, or acts. And Baba says seva. Baba has told us your life is a seva-dhari life. So are you giving your every second, every thought to seva? What is your life all about? So Baba says you have to check whether you are not doing what you should do, or you're doing what you shouldn't do. And this account has to be maintained very well. And in Christianity, this second category of sin is called sins of omission. You're not committing anything, but you're omitting. You are not paying attention to what you should do. And then the third category of sin that Baba has made us aware of is a very interesting thing, because this is something that we were totally ignorant about in bhakti. And this third category is taking sorrow. Taking sorrow is a sin, and we did not know this in bhakti. And this world is a world of sorrow. And Baba says, in this sorrowful world, expecting that somebody will not give you sorrow is foolishness. Yes, you are knowledgeful. Yes. So if you are living in COVID times and you think, it's all good, no infection. Yes, that's not positive thinking. That is foolishness. Yes. So positive thinking means hoping for the best and being prepared for the worst. But if you're just hoping for the best and you have no idea, that this can also happen, then that's foolishness. That's not being knowledgeful. So Baba has told us this is an old world, this is a world of sorrow, and people give what they have. So in a world of sorrow, people have their hearts full of sorrow, and they give what they have, they give sorrow. And that's not your problem. They will give you sorrow through many methods. But Baba says, if you are a knowledgeful soul, you don't take sorrow. Because you don't have to commit the sin of taking sorrow. Because if you keep taking sorrow, what will your heart be full of? Sorrow. And then what will you give? Sorrow. And then who will do seva? Who will give knowledge and happiness? So Baba says, be very careful about this sin. Don't take sorrow. So Baba says that these are the three categories of sins in the world. And this is the only kind of sin that exists. And Baba has given us the knowledge of that. And Baba says, now you know Paap, now you know Punya. Everything that you do on Shrimat is Punya. And if you're doing these three things, it is Paap. And Baba says, look into your heart, check properly what is Paap, what is Punya, and what are you doing. And Baba says, everything that stops you from doing Punya and everything that entices you to do Paap is Maya. Yes, Maya does two things. It motivates you to do Paap and it stops you from doing Punya. It will stop you from seva, it will stop you from being pure, it will stop you. Have you seen, it's such an interesting thing. You want to be pure and suddenly the whole world is against you. Yes, you never thought that could happen, but this is Maya, in this Ravan Rajya, you want to do anything according to Shrimat, it becomes very difficult. And Maya comes from corners and places where you least expect. But Baba says that is how it happens. So don't worry, I am with you. And Baba says just, focus on what Baba is telling you to do. When Baba is asking you to be a yogi, to understand knowledge, imbibe knowledge, share knowledge, Baba is asking you to be pure. Do that, come what may. And Baba says that is what Baba is asking us to do, and this is how you discern Maya. So we need knowledge about everything, and we need knowledge about Maya also. How do you discern something if you don't know it? Yes, you want to spot a criminal, you have to have a photograph of it, right? So what is the photograph of Maya? Yes, you can have a photograph of a body, but what is the photograph of Maya? So you have to have the discernment of what is Maya. So Maya is that which is motivating you to think, speak and act in a manner which is motivated by vices and which is stopping you from doing what Baba is asking you to do. All that is Maya. So just check. And today Baba says something very beautiful in the Murli. Baba says, the Father is giving you the temptation of heaven. Children, become pure and you will become the masters of heaven. Many storms of Maya will come. The Father says, children, you were so first class. What happened to you? Baba would instantly tell you who has which number in the rosary of Brahmins, number wise at this time, because even Brahmins are number wise, not everybody is the same. However, not everyone keeps the same number all the time, because once somebody gets caught up in the trap of Maya and they lose their sanity, they act in a manner that they lose their number. There are omens in earning an income. So when you want to earn a spiritual income, there will always be obstacles. If someone has the omens of Rahu, he stops studying. Now, when do you think that your fortune is lost, or when do we say iski takdeer kharab hai? So when you stop studying. So Maya will trouble you a lot, but if you stop studying is 4 subjects, Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva. If you stop studying and goes back into the old world, then you will say, okay, Rahu ate them up. Yes, but if you continue come what may, then you are a winner over Maya. He says, I am unable to make this effort, I am unable to remember Baba. Now why are you unable to? Yes, because you've given up to Maya. Maya has discouraged you and you have accepted that. Yesterday I was taking a class and there was this Mata, and she said, and I asked her, why don't you come to class every day? Then she said, oh Didi, you don't know, my daughter-in-law doesn't cooperate, and even at this age she expects that I should pick the child up and I should do things, and she's not cooperating with me. You don't know what kind of house I live in. There are so many troubles in the house. Then I said, okay, all that is fine. I understand you have 101 problems. But then, are you willing to submit that because of these problems, it's okay if I don't go to heaven? So she said, no, Didi, I want to, na. So, but. So I said, no, there's no but. It's either you do or you don't do. So now, despite everything, you have to do this. When I started Seva, I was working in the office, and 8:30 I had to leave for the office. And I used to be back at 6:30 in the evening, and I used to get up at 3 a.m. I told that Mata, at 3 a.m. I used to get up, half an hour I used to do yoga, and after that get ready, cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the 3, and then pack everything up and by 6 I used to be ready and sit on the seat so that I could take a course, a class before I went to office. And then when I came back, sharp 6:30, there used to be 2 classes, 6:30 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8:30. And there used to be Murli and course, and then do all of that. And after 8:30, I used to change, get fresh, cook, make chapatis, because I used to get ready everything in the morning, and then eat and then sleep. And this I've done for 10 years round the clock, the same schedule. So Baba says that you don't have to quote reasons. There will be many reasons. There will be many things that will happen. And this is the smallest of the things that I have faced. So Baba says that there will be many reasons, but if you say, I can't do it, it's very difficult, and this is happening and that is happening, and then what do? Go back to the old world. Go back to being a vikari again, is it? So Baba says, by saying no, he becomes an atheist. Baba says, when you say, mujhse nahi hoga, that is becoming an atheist. That means you don't know Baba. You have never understood Baba. Omens continue to change. When storms of Maya come, you become slack. If you run away, it would be understood that you have become ugly. If you run away, then you prove Maya right. Here you earn a huge income. You children know that Mama and Baba will become Lakshmi and Narayan. Children say, Baba, we will also make effort like you do and definitely be seated on the throne. We will become heirs. However, in spite of that, there are omens. And then Baba says, your behavior also has to be very good. Don't spoil your karma in reaction. Despite everything, maintain your dignity, your quality of karma. It is your business to make those in every home receive the message to remember the Father. Baba has given you that duty to do the seva so that their sins are absolved. Baba says destruction is just ahead. Just continue to give invitations. Day by day, the number of you will continue to grow and centers will continue to open. This building, which is so big, will also become too small. Seva will always only increase. As you progress, you will need so many buildings. Within the drama, arrangements definitely have to be made for those who are to come here. Yes. So Baba says, you children are doing everything for yourselves. Therefore, children, you should have infinite happiness. Baba says, however, Maya repeatedly breaks your intellect's yoga. The rosary cannot be created at this time. But Baba says, because Brahmins keep, shifting, because when Maya attacks, they lose heart. That is why Baba says, the final rosary of who is who will be created only in the end. Okay, so this is Baba's Srimad today. Baba has given us a lot of zeal and enthusiasm in the Murli today. And also given us clarity about checking for sins and being aware of sins. Okay, Om Shanti.